Now in the Burundian crisis.
Yes, yes, which means then you are going to you are preparing for something else. So others are saying negotiation. I said to negotiate with who? So if AU is preparing to go in, is it, if we call it either intervention or I don't know what name, but we could only say well intervention or sending a peace group, peace and building or peacekeeping something there. But at the same time, what do we call it? Intervention. Yes, intervention. Then what will the country do? At the moment, we can't say, okay, now the country is just going. The country will not wait. You've come to intervene its own internal affairs. So seriously, I think the Great Lakes region is a problem. Museveni is supposed to be the chair of negotiation something. Also, Uganda is also not as stable as everything.
Yeah, and they also have the same problem.
Exactly, exactly. So now, Rwanda agreed yesterday that president should go for the third time. Then this guy in Burundi will say, well, fine, let me pick it up too. So what's happening around me should not be different from what I'm doing.
But does Burundi need international intervention?
Well, if Burundi at the moment, or the Burundians cannot understand why actually international intervention should come in. Because we are talking politics now. We are not talking the symptomatic aspect of it, the ethnic issue. Okay? Because now we're talking about democracy, a president coming for the third term, but then when you have those primordial sentiments coming in terms of ethnicity, then things will change overnight. So the common man on the street will not understand what you and I were talking now, but they will take it on the level of ethnic diversity, and there you find people coming out with cutlasses and knives and do other things. And by that time, the intervening force that are coming from outside will not be able to deal with that. Because the killing of the mobs, or when the mobs fight among themselves, a normal soldier or an intervening army will not be able to do that. So I don't know if AU really, the type of intervention it is going to undertake. Is it to keep government at alert?
You know, the United Nations has said that, has put all of the blame on Burundi's leaders and saying they're the ones responsible for this political crisis. But shouldn't the UN also take some blame in this as well?
Well, you see, let me tell you the truth. You see, we should, in the present day, we shouldn't actually expect too much from AU and from European Union, from UN, because they have lots of their hands over there. So now they will just, well, Africans, please try to regulate yourselves. The United Nations will make statements, okay, but at the end of the day, you find out that they have other issues. They now tried to make to accept a common plan for Syria now, which is also an issue that they are still struggling with. And now they see that African case is coming on and on. It has become a normal breakfast African problem, or maybe dinner. So there's no much seriousness from the side of the Western world and even United Nations to say that now let's see what's happening there. But again, African Union is there to tell you. So African Union, please handle your case.
Can Burundi solve the political crisis by itself? Because that's what it said when it said it was rejecting the AU plans to deploy 5,000 troops. It said they can solve the problem by themselves. Can Burundi solve its own political crisis?
And then and they are calling for now. A colonel was killed, isn't it?
Yes.
Yes. And then among the armies, you will find factions. So if they want to solve it among themselves, then they might even go. It might be worse.
Dr. Akiyemi made some salient points there in the interview, but now it's your turn. Tell us what you think is the solution to the political crisis in Burundi. Write to Diplomatic Channel at channelstv.com or tweet at diplomatic_chan or at Amarachi_Ubani. Now, U.S. Democratic presidential hopeful squared it out at a debate on Saturday, their first since the December 2nd San Bernardino attacks. A focus was on front-runner Hillary Clinton and rival Bernie Sanders. Former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton has been in the lead, claiming double digits in national polls and a smaller polling edge in Iowa, where the race kicks off on February 1st.
Yeah, this one falls under the category of I have actually done this.
The debate had been expected to be a heated battle between the Democratic presidential bigwigs, Bernie Sanders and Hillary Clinton.
Syria. If the United States does not lead, there is
It was heated, all right, as both clashed over who has been the strongest on gun control and plans to defeat Islamic State militants. But it was also a debate for mending fences. Sanders apologized to Clinton for the breach in which a campaign staffer improperly accessed files generated by the Clinton campaign.
Not only do I apologize to Secretary Clinton, and I hope we can work together on an independent investigation from day one, I want to apologize to my supporters. This is not the type of campaign that we run. And if I find anybody else involved in this, they will also be fired.
Clinton accepted the apology and said it was time to move on. During the debate, Clinton, Sanders and former Maryland Governor Martin O'Malley debated the best way to defeat Islamic State militants and prevent lone wolf attacks like the one carried out by a radicalized Muslim couple who killed 14 people in the San Bernardino shooting on December 2nd. O'Malley, who's lagging in polls behind former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton and U.S. Senator Bernie Sanders in the race for the 2016 Democratic presidential nomination, accused his opponents of adopting a more aggressive stance on gun control in the wake of a number of mass shootings this year, culminating with the massacre in San Bernardino. O'Malley argued that the Islamic State militants have advised recruits on the best way to get a weapon in the United States, a gun show.
ISIL training videos are telling lone wolves the easiest way to buy a combat assault weapon in America is at a gun show, and it's because of the flip-flopping political approach of Washington that both of my two colleagues on this stage have represented there for the last 40 years. We need common sense, gun
Let's
safety
calm down a little bit, Martin.
O'Malley and Sanders faced off against Clinton on the question of whether it was necessary to remove President Bashar al-Assad of Syria so the Islamic State can be defeated.
Where is it written that it's the job of the United States of America or its Secretary of State to determine when dictators have to go? We have a role to play in this world, but it is not the role of traveling the world looking for new monsters to destroy.
We now finally are where we need to be. We have a strategy and a commitment to go after ISIS, which is a danger to us as well as the region. And we finally have a UN Security Council resolution bringing the world together to go after a political transition in Syria. If the United States does not lead, there is not another leader. There is a vacuum, and we have to lead if we're going to be successful.
Senator Saunders.
Attacks then turned to Republican presidential hopeful Donald Trump, who 2 weeks ago proposed to ban Muslims from entering the United States and tax reform and healthcare concerns. That's the show this week. Thanks for watching. I am Amarachi Ubani, wishing you a Merry Christmas ahead.